Welcome back to the Market Snapshot, where we take a look at what's going on in the Utah real estate market each and every week. So this week we're seeing a lot of the same things. A lot of the categories are staying steady and the market is still staying very, very hot. So let's go take a look at specifically what's going on. Thank you again for joining us on the Market Snapshot. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the Wasatch Front Living YouTube channel. So what that means for you is that you'll get notifications every time we post a video, and it'll tell you, hey, a new Market Snapshot is up, or hey, another video X, Y, and Z is up, and you can go and take a look so you don't miss out on any cool content, and you can stay informed on the Utah real estate market. All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and dig into what's been going on. So days on market last week we're at an incredible 21 days. This week we've jumped back up to 25 days on market. And as a point of reference, this is still very, very, very fast. And the market is still crazy hot right now. All right, average sales price last week we're at $449,000. This week we're at $433,000. Not a huge fluctuation, though. You see that big price drop looking at it just straightforward. And I guess you might think that home prices might be coming back down. But no, just as a whole, not as many expensive homes sold, and so that makes the price drop a little bit. But as a whole, over these weeks, we've seen the price steadily rise. And that's what I can see, honestly, as a realtor going and working contracts and negotiations, that homes are going for very high purchase prices. And so home prices are not coming down, unfortunately. Now to number of sold homes. Last week we're at 1,023. This week we're at 864 sold homes. It's not a huge drop there. And that's still super high. A lot of homes are selling. A lot of people are completing their contracts, which is awesome for the health of the market. Potentially it's helping a lot of people upgrade into bigger homes, and that just keeps driving the real estate market and the economy as a whole. So it's a good thing that homes are still selling at a rapid rate, but unfortunately for buyers, it still means it's a crowded buyer's market, making home prices still pretty dang expensive. Number of active listings last week were at 1,490. This week we're at 1,420 active listings. So again, that steady decline that we're seeing is continuing to trend. And like I was saying last video, we're just gonna have to kind of hold on and see what happens, because based on the interest rate, that means lots of buyers are still going to be in the market shopping. And if we don't get more product on the market, more active listings, that's just going to continue to drive that price up, because there's a scarcity and too many buyers, and then it ensues bidding wars and prices just go up, 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 up. So we'll have to wait and see if it inspires some sellers to get their houses on the market to get some top dollar for their house. Number of under contract homes, we're at 5,138 homes last week. This week we are at 5,010 under contract homes. So not much of a change there, but again, we're seeing that steady decline. Last week's interest rate, we're at 2.85%, which was just a little bit of a jump from the previous week. This week we take a nosedive to 2.77% interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage. And so we're still at that sub 3. Interest rates are staying relatively steady. But again, every little percentage point saves you money, or on the flip side, costs you a little bit more money per month and over the life of your loan. So if you're looking to buy right now, still an awesome time. It has been for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So take advantage of the interest rate if you're considering buying. The purchase prices are high, that's for sure. But interest rate is where you're going to save a ton of money, not only month to month, but over the life of your loan. Okay, so the real estate term this week is something called contingencies. The normal contingencies you'll see on a REPC are a due diligence contingency, an appraisal contingency, and there can also be a contingency on the sale of a home if you're purchasing another home. So the sale of a home contingency is the first one you'll run into, and what it tells a prospective seller is that this particular buyer, their contract, though it may look pretty solid throughout and they're offering great terms, it could possibly fall through because the sale of their home has to happen in order for them to have the funds laid out as far as a down payment, earnest money, etc., to go through and complete the purchase of that REPC outlays. So it's a big one, and that can dissuade a lot of sellers from taking your offer with it being contingent on the sale of your home. So typically, if you have a home contingency, you have to offer a pretty solid offer for people to want to take, especially in this market when people have so many options. The other two options there are the due diligence contingency. Basically, all this has to do is, barring a home inspection and other variables that the seller has that 2 to whatever agreed upon amount of time to do their due diligence, that they can pull out of the contract and not be injured financially in any way. They can get the earnest money back, unless they had some earnest money go hard right upon acceptance. But the due diligence is kind of like the big one, and it's a pretty standard in most contracts that people will have that due diligence clause and contingency there. The next one is the appraisal contingency, and what this means is that if an appraiser comes in and does an appraisal on the home and the appraisal comes in short of the purchase price, the seller, the buyer, can back out of the contract and get 100% of the earnest money back, without financial harm there. So that is a way of negotiating a contract, is waiving that appraisal contingency, but it's also a good idea as a buyer to have that there to protect you, especially if you put in a high purchase price and aren't anticipating covering a big appraisal spread. So lots of protections in there, and all these contingencies are ways to protect the buyer and sellers, but you can play with those things to strengthen your contract and beat out other buyers. Okay, that's all we have for you today on the Market Snapshot. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when we put out new content, so that you can stay up to date and be informed in what's going on in the Utah real estate market. And one last note, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, I'm a realtor and I would absolutely love to help you in either option. I can help you make informed decisions, or we can just talk options. There's no obligation to either buy or sell a home if you talk to me. I'm always happy to answer questions and talk you through things. And if you guys have any questions relating specifically to the Utah real estate market, go ahead and drop a comment here. You can text, call, or email me. If I don't answer, please leave a voicemail or just shoot me a text. I'd love to talk to you, and I'd love to answer your questions. But again, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next week on the Market Snapshot.